That's what's up, baby!
Prepare for the 2011 Iditarod and Perreault the champion. Tell us about that.
I think we're ready for the Iditarod.
You've got two strong mushers behind you, Sebastian and Ken. How hard were you working out there?
I had to work hard for a little while, but just long enough to break his spirit, I think. I mean, we'll see. I'm up here ahead of him. Sebastian was the one that I really had to worry about this last run.
Absolutely. Did you guys see each other on the river at all?
Not at all, no. I knew he was gaining on me after about 30 miles out of two rivers there. He had cut my lead in half. So I figured that was a good time to put a push on. We worked hard, and I almost got my whole lead back, which that's really discouraging if you're trying to catch somebody and all of a sudden they take off, and there goes your whole lead, you know. And then since then, I think we've been staying about the same distance.
Now, this race has seen a lot of challenges, including of your own. Tell us about your hardest point of the race.
You know, I try to take everything with a grain of salt and have a good time while we're doing it, but the one thing that was kind of tricky to do that during was when I was waist deep in water at 50 below for about an hour. Yeah, and I was still 5 hours from that checkpoint, so that was kind of interesting. But, you know, we make it. That's mushing for you. You never know what obstacle you're going to get next. You put on the corner of the wet, and now you have a whole new focus. It's entirely different than 10 minutes ago.
Absolutely. Now, you left Central in one position, came through 101 and two rivers in another. What did you think when you saw the different mushers on the trail?
You know, this latter part of the race, I have been paying attention to where the other mushers are a little more, but honestly, you know, I see them as I go by and talk to them for a minute, say hi, and then after a minute I realize there can't be very many more ahead of me, you know. But yeah, things changed fast from when I left Central to when I got to River there.
Absolutely. Now, you come from a long line of mushing. How does it feel to be the first Seavey to win the Yukon Quest?
Well, I'm the first to run it, so I guess I didn't have a lot of competition now. I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's been a race I've been wanting to do for a long time. You know, it looks pretty appealing, just the setup and all. It's a lot of fun camping with dogs. That was my goal when I came here, to have a good time and just, you know, not be stressed out running dogs like oftentimes you are on the Iditarod. It's kind of a secondary race, you can have a good time, and things turned out pretty well.
Yeah, it's been one of the toughest weather-wise in years. Was it what you were expecting?
You know, I didn't really come here with any preconceived notions because, you know, I'm a rookie here. I didn't know what to expect, so I just came and ready to run my dogs. The weather, it's cold, it's warm, it was wet. You know, we had everything, it was windy, but it's nothing I hadn't seen before. It's just I hadn't seen it here.
Now, I know some of the reporters down here have some questions.
Some training run, how about?
Yeah, that was a good training run. You know, real quick, she's asked about my training run, but in all honesty, you know, we wanted to do the first half of the race kind of laid back, go up to Dawson, taking it easy. I got there with all 14 dogs rather, having a good time. And then I had kind of a semi-aggressive schedule from there to the finish written, and I got in here, I think, 5 minutes off my scheduled time. I looked at it just on the river here pulling in. I'd completely forgotten the schedule 5-6 days ago. I put in my sled, so and we ended up coming in pretty close. That's closer than I've ever been to a schedule.
Yeah, somebody put your run rest times on Facebook, and it was a pretty nice, even graph there. So you did a great job sticking with that schedule. What other questions do we have from the board?
When we talked to Dawson, you had told me that you were kind of work your way up in place, but you still were
Julie?
So,
2 miles,
what do
Sebastian.
you think about that now?
Well, I honestly didn't anticipate to be able to win it, you know. Obviously, I didn't think that Hugh was going to have that sort of trouble getting over the pass. There's things you can't anticipate. This was really rough weather. The same water that almost got me, it got Hans, you know, and he froze his hands real bad. So there's certainly things that you can't foresee, you know. So the bad weather changed things, and as it turns out, with poor conditions, running a conservative early race is a good racing schedule. You know, you have a strong team through it all. You can justify that extra rest in these bad conditions. So as it turned out, it served both purposes.
Talk to me about your team. I mean, how proud are you of these dogs right now?
Very, very proud for sure. You know, these dogs, they performed amazingly well. just coming in here today, the two leaders I had in there, one of them is Beetle, and he's running lead probably 5 times total in his life. And he was doing good going down the river. There's not a lot of sharp turns out there, so I put him up there next to the other guy for company, and he just drove hard all the way in here, you know. The other leader up there, he was kind of the third string puppy leader. He'd only done a couple, maybe 4 or 5 runs of more than 50 miles in lead in his entire life. And he ended up doing well over a third of the leading and most of the leading in the last part of this race. So this whole race was about young dogs stepping up and getting ready for the Iditarod. So,
And something to say for you, a young dog stepping up. How do you think this sets you up for the Iditarod?
It's excellent training for the Iditarod and for a whole racing career, you know. I've had this discussion with a lot of people, you know. My dad's been running dogs his whole life and he's got 17 Iditarods or something. Somebody like Hugh Knapp has been doing it for half as many years but still has 17,000-mile races. That's experience. As much time as we put into this to miss a race like this would be a shame, so.
Other questions?
How much of that team is going to be the same group you take on the Iditarod?
That's a really good question. You know, I didn't really know what to expect again coming into the race, how many injuries or if dogs were just going to be too thin or what. But as it turns out, I left 3 really nice dogs at home, older dogs that just didn't need to do 2,000-mile races in the same year. All 3 of them are excellent leaders. So those guys are probably going to be in there. And then I think every dog on this team is eligible for my Iditarod team, and probably I'm going to have to leave somebody out. I'm not sure who yet, though. They're all sound and ready to go.
So you're strong musher. How have you been building your kennel? Is it from your family's kennels, or have you been bringing dogs in for cases?
A little bit of each, I suppose. I got kind of a starter package of dogs for my dad. I bought. He had a surplus of young dogs, and when they turned 3, he sold kind of the bottom half of those young dogs. And that's what I started the kennel with, and then we've got some dogs from Burmeister and elsewhere. My wife and I have only had dogs since fall of 2008. It's a very young kennel. The dogs I'm racing are all dogs that I bought, which means they're kind of all second hand. We've got a lot of young dogs coming up, and when they're adults, then we'll have a real race.
Great. Well, congratulations, Dallas. I hear Sebastian's just a few miles out, so we really want to welcome you to Fairbanks, and congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much. Bye, Dallas.
Yukon Quest champion.
Right. I don't have a dog team anymore.
You have to shake his hand.
How you doing? Good to see you here.
Nice to see you here.
Little run over there.
A little chilly? So you got heat behind you, right? That's right, baby.
Yeah, somewhere back there.
Good job. Good job. In the presence of superstars.